Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to write your autobiography life story. Telling your story can be such an impactful and inspiring thing, and it can also help you have a bigger impact. By the end of this video, you will learn how to unlock your purpose and how to tell your story in the most compelling way. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. So you want to tell your story. That's awesome. I think it's great that people want to share their message and bring it out into the world. As you think about your story and your message, really dig deep on figuring out your why. What is your purpose for writing a book or story or message? What is your purpose for sharing it? It could be something as simple as wanting it to pass down to your family, the next generation. It could be attracting leads and opportunities for your business. It could be raising your profile, becoming a thought leader. There's so many different options and there's so many different reasons for wanting to write a book. And in order for you to really succeed in this process, you really need to tap into your purpose. Figure out why you're writing this book and story and infuse that. Make that really part of the journey. Once you map out your purpose, the next step is really going to be to figure out what story you're telling, who it's going to impact, and outlining it to make sure that you're making the best progress possible. I know a lot of writers who don't outline before they start writing their book, and it's a way to get lost. It's a way to write things that aren't actually in the scope and the frame of the book. Think about deeply, what you want the reader to take away from this, who you're targeting, who specifically is in your audience, and the outline. What's the best way to outline your story? Figuring that out is going to help you figure out what's inside and outside the frame of the book. And then from there, it's going to make it easier for you to focus on specifically writing those things instead of just writing a bunch of stuff and deciding to figure out later, like, oh, we're going to include this, we're going to exclude that. All right, now you have your purpose and you've mapped out the project. Now it's time to get to writing. The writing process is hard, it's challenging, it's difficult. It will force you to confront so many of your fears and doubts and struggles and imposter syndrome and everything else. It's going to make you wonder why you're writing it, which is why we covered purpose already and why we figured out the foundation for it. Make sure to make consistent progress. It can be so easy to lose sight of writing a book and to put it aside, if you're not careful. Think about that gym membership that goes unused. It's the wishful thinking of, oh, I want to go to the gym next week. Next week I'm going to start going. Next week I'm going to start going. Then next week comes, and next week comes, and next week comes, and you're not making any progress. So writing a book is a measure of consistency. It's a measure of consistent progress. And if that progress is 100 words a week, if it's 1,000 words a week, if it's 200 words a day, whatever the case may be consistent and steady about it. Every single step that you take, every word that you write, every sentence that you finish is going to make you that much closer to finishing your book. It's great to be able to get words down, but make sure that they're purposeful and make sure that you're keeping the reader in mind. Write the story with the most compelling opening that you can. A lot of times when people write their life story, they think, I'm going to start at the beginning. This is when I was born. That stuff's important, but it's not the most compelling thing, most likely. I was working on one book with a group of people and the one person was born in a taxi cab on the side of the road because their mother didn't make it to the hospital in time. Okay, so that's a pretty compelling story about their birth story. Most of us don't have maybe that story. Maybe there's something else. Think about what your most compelling story is. And it could be in the middle of the story. It could be at the end of the story. This unresolved thing, this challenge, this moment that everything changed. It can be great to focus on starting the story in a way that will draw people in. Don't think about this beginning to end timeline, but think about the most compelling way, and then you can jump back to start at the beginning. But don't start necessarily at the beginning with your story. Writing by nature can be a lonely process. You sit by yourself with your thoughts and your ideas and pour them onto the screen or onto the page. But it doesn't need to be. And there's definitely opportunities within the writing process for collaboration, for input, for connection. It can be great to join a writing group, for example, and it can be great to work with a professional. When I work as a ghostwriter and I work directly with authors to help them bring their story forward. And it can be so empowering for me to help them unlock the pieces of their story that they didn't understand, the things that fit together now. You know, their journey to discovery, their journey to healing, their journey to closure, their journey to new normal, whatever the case may be, you're going to need help along the way somewhere. Even if you do everything by yourself with the writing, you know, editing is going to require some input from other people. You may tap beta readers to help read the book and see what they think before you release it. Think about connections and think about input and think about help as much as you can, because this can be a lonely process, but you don't need to make it as lonely as it needs to be. You know, you can make it more collaborative. You can connect with other people and share in this with them. This is an awesome journey, and it can be a really collaborative journey if you keep your eyes open to that. If you want to learn more about how to write your autobiography life story, I definitely want you to check out a course that I created. It's called Good Book Mastery, and the link is goodbookmastery.com. You can click the link below. That course covers every single step in the book process. All of the steps that I follow and I'm writing a book with somebody, these are all the things that I explore in that course. There's also opportunities to connect with me or get one-on-one input. It's been so meaningful for me to put that course together, to share as many of my lessons as I can, and to reach more people. And I want you to get all the information and resources you need to give you the best success with your book. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.